Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the February 5th, 2024 New Jersey Water Supply Authority Board meeting to order. Ms. Hunt, could you please read the Open Public Meeting Act?
Yes, in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been published in designated newspapers, including the time, date, and location of the meeting. Notice and the agenda of this meeting, as well as the call-in information, have also been provided on the authority's website and are posted in a prominent location in the authority's headquarters.
Thank you. Mark, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Acting Chair Ofori,
Here.
Commissioner Blue,
Here.
Commissioner Havens,
Here.
Commissioner Iaculo,
Here.
Commissioner Pico, I don't think he's here. We have 4.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark. This is a reminder that there will be a chance for public comment towards the end of the meeting. I will ask members of the public to put their phones on mute until this time. I ask for the approval of the January 8th, 2024 minutes. The minutes was part of the package previously distributed. Are there any comments on the January 8th, 2024 minutes? Perfect. Is there a motion to approve the January 8th, 2024 minutes and a second?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. I'd like to request a roll call for vote.
Acting Chair Ofori,
Yes.
Commissioner Blue,
Yes.
Commissioner Havens,
Yes.
Commissioner Iaculo.
Yes.
Thank you. Mark, could you give the executive director's report, please?
Sure, you all have a copy of my report. In Clinton, in January, precipitation was 6.37 inches, which is more than 3.2 inches above average. Pumping to Round Valley initiated in mid-November. After a slow start, we have had well above average rain in December and January, which has facilitated very efficient pumping operations. As of this morning, a total of 4.3 billion gallons had been pumped to Round Valley, and the pool has increased by over 8 feet. Total increase in storage at Round Valley has gone from 36 to 42.5 billion gallons, which includes the rainfall on the reservoir. With 55 billion gallons is full capacity. Spruce Run Reservoir storage levels continue to spill with a capacity of 100.6% as of this morning. Also this morning, the combined storage around Valley and Spruce Run was 77.4%, compared to a combined historic average of 89.9% for this date. Manasquan Reservoir storage level was 88.25% this morning. That's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any communications or correspondence to report to the board this month?
There are none.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to unfinished business. Mark, could you please have your staff report on your system? First, Manasquan Reservoir System and Manasquan Water Treatment Plant Transmission System. Background, please.
Paul McKean is here.
Good afternoon. As Mark said, the reservoir's at 88%. We're doing selective pumping when the water quality in the river's good, and we anticipate getting the reservoir full in the next month and a half without any issues. The treatment plant's been running well, no anomalies, and we're just doing winter scheduled maintenance there mostly.
Thank you. Any questions? Good. Next is Raritan Basin System.
Darren Schaefer is here.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have my report. A few updates. The Raritan Basin continues to be in good condition for this time of year. Spruce Run Reservoir, as Mark noted, is full. Our releases are minimal. Round Valley has risen a little more than 8 feet above the construction pool, and pumping is ongoing. River conditions have remained favorable, allowing us to operate 3 or more pumps for most of the last month. The performance of the Round Valley embankments and the new filter drain system are being carefully monitored during the refilling operation in accordance with the refill monitoring plan that was approved by New Jersey Dam Safety. Canal operations are currently normal. Staff continues working to address minor damages such as scour and shallow erosion that occurred during winter storm events in December and January. A brief update on the emergency repairs to the sinkhole and leak that developed in the canal embankment near the workhouse spillway in Hopewell Township. Authority staff continued to monitor that site at least once per day. We now have a contract with a construction firm to construct the steel sheet pile cutoff. They've been providing submittals and evaluating loads for the access bridge across the canal. Some heavy loads have to get across that bridge. They may have to reinforce it. A pre-construction meeting is scheduled for early next week, with construction expected to start shortly thereafter. A memo and resolution is included in this month's board package to ratify the actions of the executive director with respect to executing that contract for construction of repairs. Some capital projects updates. The work at Round Valley continues to be on hold due to winter conditions. South Branch Pump Station, the contractor is continuing with the repair and refurbishment of the 4 pump and motor assemblies. They're doing that work in their shop. Staff and our engineering consultant have visited the contractor's shop a couple of times to review the progress and to evaluate the condition of the equipment as it is disassembled and reassembled. In another phase of this project, our consultant recently completed plans and specifications to replace the traveling water screens at the pump station. That project will be advertised for bids later this month. 6 Mile Run culvert rehabilitation. The work there in Franklin Township has progressed somewhat slowly over the last month due to weather. I will note that Canal Road was reopened last week. It was closed for probably the better part of 2 months. Some further short-term intermittent road closures will occur this week as the contractor removes the false work from the culvert and an upstream cofferdam that's in 6 Mile Run. The remaining work at that site includes some stone masonry repairs at the culvert outlet. That work will all take place from the other side of the canal and will result in some temporary closures of the multi-use trail in that area. Lastly is Spruce Run grouting. There's not much new to report. I will note that the plans and specifications are near final, and we're working through the permitting and financing application processes. A bid package will be ready for advertisement as soon as these approvals are received, and we expect that to happen in the second quarter of this year. That's all I have for today. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Next, Watershed Protection Program.
Ken Klipstein is here.
Hey everybody, I have a couple of updates to my report. Under ag projects in the Raritan, I talked about the addressing agricultural non-point source pollution and priority watersheds in the Raritan Basin. That grant was scheduled to expire on February 1st. I reported that in my report. There's a new grant manager there, and they suggested that maybe there was some additional money there, so they suggested we apply for a 1-year extension to that. So we will do that, and we'll fully allocate those dollars. I think it'll take less than a year, but it's nice to have the 1-year extension there. On harmful algal bloom management in the Manasquan, Our management plan is really geared to growing season, summer months, although the operations staff does cell counts throughout the year. This year, there were a couple of indicators that showed, higher percentage of cyano, which is a trigger in our plan, and what looks to be a winter type bloom. So we're following the plan and acting accordingly, but it does bring into question some of how our plan is set up. For Paul's part and the operations side, they're able to switch to the river and not deal with, maybe higher cyano counts. And I should say too, we did follow the plan. We ran for toxins, and those were all below the reporting limit. So it's just an interesting thing to see in the winter time, and maybe this is a sign of things to come. Anyway, we'll continue to follow that. And then my last update is on the invasive species management plan, and folks may have seen the press at the end of the year on Governor Murphy vetoing the invasive plant species bill. That was a terrestrial, really focused on terrestrials and trying to get legislation that put a further ban on some types of plant. It's totally separate from the effort that I've reported on about aquatic invasives, and we are on track. Actually, February 6th, tomorrow, is the end of the public comment period for that draft plan, and we've received we DEPs received most all positive comments on that, and we expect that'll stay on track and hopefully get signed by the governor later this year. That's my report.
Thank you. Next is new business, A and B, resolution authorizing the executive director to enter into a purchase agreement for sodium hypochlorite for the Manasquan Water Treatment Plant, Wall Township, Monmouth County. And B, resolution authorizing the executive director to enter into a purchase agreement for polyaluminum chloride for the Manasquan Water Treatment Plant, Wall Township, Monmouth County. Background, please.
Paul McKeon will provide background on both of those.
Yes, each year the Water Supply Authority staff solicits bids for chemicals used in the treatment process at the water plant, for the cost of which is expected to exceed $44,000 or that cannot be purchased under the state contracts. This year bid request was for two chemicals, polyaluminum chloride and sodium hypochlorite. Bids were received in early December. 3 bids for polyaluminum chloride and 2 bids for sodium hypochlorite. The low bidder for each chemical has supplied the same chemical to the authority with no issues in prior years. Cost of the polyaluminum chloride is a 3.7% increase over last year, and the sodium hypochlorite is a 13% decrease. So we recommend the approval of these purchase agreements, and an appropriate resolution has been prepared for your consideration.
Are there any questions? Okay, I ask for a motion to move the resolution A for sodium hypochlorite.
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I would like to request a roll call for vote for this motion.
Acting Chair Ofori,
Yes.
Commissioner Blue,
Yes.
Commissioner Havens,
Yes.
Good.
Commissioner Iaculo. I missed one.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, next is B. I ask for a motion to move the resolution B for polyaluminum chloride.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Would like to request a roll call for vote for this motion.
Acting Chair Ofori,
Yes.
Commissioner Blue,
Yes.
Commissioner Havens,
Yes.
Commissioner Iaculo.
Yes.
Next is resolution authorizing the award of a contract WSA C24012M for the electrical testing and maintenance program for the Manasquan Water Supply System facilities, Wall Township, Monmouth County. Background, please.
Paul is here for that again.
Yes, hello. Approximately every 5 years, the authority solicits bids to clean, lubricate, test, and adjust the high voltage breakers, cables, transformers, and other protective devices that make up the electrical system at the Manasquan Reservoir system. This cycle, bids were advertised in early December, and 8 testing companies were notified. 2 bids were received on January 10th. The low bid from Scott Testing met all requirements and was just above the estimated cost for the scope of work generated. Staff recommends awarding the service contract at this time, and an appropriate resolution has been prepared for your consideration.
Are there any questions? Okay, I ask for motion to move the resolution and a second.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Perfect. I ask to request for a roll call for vote.
Acting Chair Opel,
Yes.
Commissioner Blue,
Yes.
Commissioner Havens,
Yes.
Commissioner Iaculo.
Yes.
Thank you. Next is resolution ratifying the actions of the executive director in executing an emergency contract for construction of a steel sheeting cut-off in the Delaware and Raritan Canal embankment near station 505+335, Hopewell Township, Mercer County, WSA C24014. Background, please.
Darren Schaefer.
A large leak and sinkhole in the canal embankment, Hopewell Township, Mercer County, were first observed on October 4th. Executive Director certified that the situation represented an emergency condition. With approval of the Capital Project Committee, proceeded with a modified procurement process for both design and construction services. As approved by the board in the January 8, 2024 meeting, the authority executed a contract with a consulting firm that provided the lowest cost and also proposed the shortest schedule to prepare a design and develop a bid package for construction of a steel sheet pile cutoff wall. Upon completion of design and receipt of necessary permits, the authority solicited bids for construction from 4 contractors known to the authority with expertise in steel sheet pile installation. 3 bids were received. The low bid at $598,001 was submitted by South State Incorporated of Bridgeton, New Jersey. The bid was deemed responsive and it compared favorably with the engineer's estimate of $650,000. Executive Director executed a contract with South State, and a resolution ratifying this action has been prepared for your consideration.
Are there any questions? Okay, I ask for motion to move the resolution and a second.
So
So
moved.
Second. Okay. I request roll call for vote.
You gotta say.
Acting Chair Ofori,
Yes.
Commissioner Blue,
Yes.
Commissioner Havens,
Yes.
Commissioner Iaculo.
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any committee meetings to report?
None this month.
Okay. So now it's time for public comments. Any member of the public wishing to speak should please state their full name and affiliation clearly for the record. Doesn't appear we have any. Okay, moving on. Well, as we've gone through all the items on the agenda, and I ask for motion to adjourn and a second.
So moved. Second.
Good. Okay, so all in favor say aye.
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 Good. This meeting is adjourned. You all have a wonderful afternoon. Bye,
You too.
everyone.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.